So see if I can try to get your presentation in the video. Yeah, there we go. In fact, I'll dull those lights back there.
Oh, you don't know if the slides will show up in the video?
Yeah, I think it kind of helps. Your slides are nice. They're nice and bold with that large letter. Try to. These things don't get that wall a little bit darker. Now, don't everybody ask questions at once.
Can we ask questions whenever we want?
You can. Respect others.
We don't have all time with that.
I don't know what's going on here. Oh, maybe it's showing up differently up there.
It was flashing. There it goes.
Yeah, I'm not getting that view on my screen. Interesting. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, it's showing up good.
Okay.
Focus is pretty good. Okay, so.
Okay. So where's can I see where the camera's looking? Just out of curiosity. Okay, so here's the problem. If I stand visible to the camera, I have this.
Oh, yes, you're not blocking the slide. Actually, just go a little bit more to your left. That's perfect.
I can't go in.
You know, as long as like the light isn't hitting you, you're not blocking the slide. Yeah, right there is great.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I could move this over just a little, like that. Okay. Yeah. Because I know it's hard. That light is so bright. It's kind of
figuring out where my line is. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So it's going. So go ahead and start.
Good evening. I'm here to talk about some of the issues that inventors face as they try to get their ideas to the market. And earlier, before this session started, we talked about one of the big things being that inventors have a difficult time building teams. So, yeah, you hit that one on the mark. Another problem is isolation. Scientists, engineers, and inventors often work by themselves. I always like to say I got to go in my closet and do some thinking, and then I come out with a solution. So another problem is that they're typically old school and aren't using the social media tools that are available online. And so they truly are isolated. When you put all those together, basically what you have is labs and garages kind of boxing in innovation and preventing it from leaking out all over the place like it should. You have too many applications, chat apps, social media apps that just aren't offering any value. You can show your life and family, your cats on Facebook. You can look for work on LinkedIn. You can find a supplier on Angie's List, but there's really no social media platform that is specifically designed to help innovators advance their ideas. Of course, the third challenge here on the screen is that the resources are not available for inventors. They are typically doing this on their own dime, and they put a lot of their money into it, and they don't really see the value of their IP and can't get it sold, and so quite often it just sits there idle. Most people don't realize that the intellectual property market is up to $150 billion annually. I think most people do know that there's 300,000 plus patents being processed through the patent office each year. We have about 775 billion, almost $1 trillion of merchandise that have our intellectual property in them being exported every year. Now, this slide shows that there's about 25 million engineers, scientists, and inventors. Does that seem like a big number to you? No. No, it's tiny. It's a tiny number. It's a fraction of a percent, point 0.003. So if we had 10 times that, we could certainly harness a whole lot more innovation. So I think we really need to find a way to harvest innovation, get it to market quicker, and not let it die in people's closets or patents that are squirreled away in companies that are no longer using the technology. And that's why we built Invent Club. Invent Now Club is a social media platform specifically for inventors, a whole slew of support tools to help them advance their ideas. You can submit it for evaluation, you can sign up for mentor programs, you can enter into NDAs with the click of a button if you want to share your idea with someone. This is the website. We are live. We're operational. We're in a beta mode right now. And I'd like to just tell you, I'll show you a little video here in a minute, but before I do, the value proposition is that we think we can bring powerful teams together in a collaborative forum to help people launch their ideas and perhaps get them sold, or maybe even get investment on the platform through a crowdsourcing module that we have planned. Right now, I've got about 70 users, and these people are what I call my VIPs. They're innovators who have taken the time to look at the website, give me feedback, get on the phone with me, and I've been able to collect a lot of information from these folks. The members we are expecting to be using the platform are, well, of course, largely inventors, engineers, and scientists. They make up half of that. Half of the group, in addition to investors.
I'm watching you live.
Recruiters. You're watching me live. Fans, lawyers, consultants. You know, it's a whole industry surrounding innovation, of course. Our business model is a freemium. You know, there's certain services that inventors will be able to access for free, but there's other services that are a little bit more sophisticated, such as the agreements that I mentioned, where you can pull up a licensing agreement and modify it to meet your needs, but the template's there for you, and with a click you can have it recorded, and other people can sign it electronically. So some of those services will have more, will have costs associated with them. Here's my team. Just a little bit about me. I've done about 7 or 8 businesses, and in particular, before the economy collapsed, I was building Think Village, which collected ideas, filed patents on them, and got them sold. My co-founder is a director, a creative director from Hollywood, and he has really been driving a lot of creativity into our platform to make it fun, exciting to use. Incidentally, he's got 5 Emmy Awards, and he's also a publisher, has published 3 books. My attorney has been around the block, and he's actually a longtime friend of mine and a former karate student of mine. And then lastly, my COO is an inventor himself with a number of patents. So he knows a lot about the process of getting an idea protected and then getting it sold. So the last thing I have here is just a little video to show you the application itself. Let's see if the volume is going to be high enough.
Yeah, Tom, this is a little bit.
I'm Tom Thompson, founder and CEO of Invent Now Club. We have a social media platform we're building that offers a powerful set of tools for innovators to get their ideas to market, commercialize them, maybe capitalize on them. But I'm dying to show it to you, so let's take a peek, shall we?
Hey, Roger.
Yeah. I was just checking audio. It's perfectly fine.
It's almost like.
Do you need our hotspot?
No, the video's playing on my machine, but maybe it's because. Maybe it's because I have to leave presentation mode. Yeah. Okay, how's that on Oops, you lost your.
I was just squaring it up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Right? Here we go.
Tom Thompson, founder and CEO of Invent Now Club. We have a social media platform we're building that offers a powerful set of tools for innovators to get their ideas to market, commercialize them, maybe capitalize on them. But I'm dying to show it to you, so let's take a peek, shall we? We are live at inventnowclub.com, just not ready to advertise. We still have some building to do, but you can see, if you go to the website, you can sign in, sign up, or we have this take a peek button, which is really just logs you right into a demo account. So you can come to their dashboard, and you can see here, I've got 5 ideas that I'm working on. Some I've submitted for review by a panel of technical experts, and some are still in draft state. I've got 8 colleagues I'm working with, and if I click on that, I can see my colleagues, and they each have a colleague score. That's based on how much I interface with them, how many work groups we share, how often we communicate, and you can see I've worked with Einstein a little bit more than Edison, but Watson probably the most. So if I click on him, I'll see his profile. You can see he's very interested in agricultural, animal farming stuff, probably the son of a farmer who went to school for that and now is creating ideas and evaluating ideas in that space. So that's one of my colleagues. I'm in 22 forums. Some of them I've created, some of them I am just following. Forums are work groups, news groups, blogs. I've reviewed 4 technologies, so I've taken a look at some of these things and I've given my thoughts. Hey, you know, this has been done before, or there's too many moving pieces, or this is a wonderful idea, you should get your patent filed immediately, or you don't need a patent, just build it and get it to market, you're going to need some funding. So whatever my review might be about that idea, I've got some of that going on. And then I've entered into 38 agreements. If I click on that, I'm guessing most of them are NDAs. We have a lot of NDAs because of all the ideas I have evaluated. They've all asked for NDAs. But I'm also in an equity agreement and an intellectual property rights agreement. So there's different kinds of agreements. And by the way, if you go over here, you can create agreements. You can see, you can click on agreement, and then it's going to ask you what kind of agreement did you want to create. And we have templates that you can pull down. You want to do a licensing agreement, you can pull that down. It starts with a template that you can edit, and you can even submit for legal review if you want. But let's get back on track. That's all part of it.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's okay. You know, I guess here, let me just pull up the site, and I'm not on the Wi-Fi. So this was the time-consuming stuff I was hoping.
We're T-Mobile 04. I need to give you the code.
You had a question? Well, I mean, it is a little bit intimidating when you know, with so many, with dealing with people that you don't know. You know, I mean, so many people that are trying to take advantage, but at the same time, you know, it doesn't mean you are, but how do I know who you are? I mean,
Yeah, great question. And that's actually one of the services that members have to pay for, and that's identity verification, because we have a service that charges us, and they go out and they identify, well, they have a variety of fields and different levels of verification. Of course, they start out with name, phone, address, government issued IDs. Some of them want a selfie, and then they compare a likeness with other social media applications you might be on. And then, of course, biometrics is coming along as well. Could be a retinal scan or even a thumbprint that you've used for your phone to open your phone. And maybe they can compare that against your phone. But there's a lot of things that they're coming up with to make sure you're the right, you're who you say you are. And with that ID verification in place, you don't have to give people your name. If you've got a verified icon on your profile, you're someone that you can legally interact with, legally binding contracts or financial transactions. So that's where we're doing, that's how we're doing that.
Oh,
Yeah. Great question.
yeah, well, it's, you know.
I know, working with people you don't know is very scary. The first thing you want is an NDA. I'm going to show you my idea, and I don't know who you are. You could be the fat man on the couch in Ukraine, and then someone's going to get sued. So it buck stops with the ID verification companies.
Another thing I deal with, in printing, I'm to a point where I'm old enough to retire now. However, I buy and sell used furniture, like mid-century antique stuff, and I do that as part-time. And I find that when I list something.
Okay, I got the password for you. And I got it quicker than I have. It's 2134. That's for Rob Anna 4. Yeah, 2134-7604. Yeah, we should get you in. And it seems to be pretty decent. It's right there, so. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
We're hot.
Okay, well, I don't know if you're gonna edit out the big dead spot there, but this is the website and it's in video. And actually, we were just talking about agreements, and then this last thing is your innovation score. If you click on that, you see all the points you get. It's just kind of an innovation score, tells you how much activity you've been doing on the site. So if you've been entering agreements, if you've been setting up forums, if you've been communicating with a lot of different people, members, and by the way, if you communicate with other members, you effectively create a colleague bind with them. And you can never unfriend somebody, but your colleague score can grow over time with more interactions, more communications, more agreements in place with a particular member. And so that's why I said earlier in the colleague score on the dashboard that the more you interact with somebody, the higher that score goes. And when you stop interacting with them, it starts to deteriorate a little bit, just like a colleague at work. And you can always rekindle it, with communications and building the relationship back up. But it's one of the unique things that we have. We try to make it enticing in a lot of different ways, some clever stuff. This is actually the tokens you can buy. We were calling them the Invent Now Kronar, but we've since renamed them to Lumens. And I think I just didn't clear the cache out of this browser before I started fooling around with it. So
what is the current balance of 50? What is that referring to? That's how many?
It means you got 15 tokens left. You can buy more tokens, but you spend them. If you want to create a work group, it might cost 5 tokens. You can place an announcement, and that probably would be dependent. The cost of that would be dependent on how large of an audience you're trying to get. But if you want all of the plumbers in Arizona, because you're an Arizona plumber, that would be reasonable. You might be able to reach that audience for 10, 12 bucks and make an announcement about your next association meeting. So, here are announcements right here. You just click on
innovation score. So now I've got my innovation score, I've got my colleagues,
so the website
here in front of me, and then I've got this menu over here that allows me to do all sorts of things. I can create forums, agreements, challenges.
I'm going to stop this because it's probably not that productive. But if you want to do the video, you can just go to YouTube and type in Invent Now Club. And I don't have a lot of hits on it because I'm not really trying to tell people to join just yet, but those are my friends and family who want to know what I'm doing, because they just invested in a tech boost to get us ready for a VC round. So, but there's the video. You're welcome to look at it. You're certainly welcome to go to the site, create an account. I think probably the first 100 or two people that sign up will be entered into our VIP program, which will extend them a lot of benefits for sticking with us or starting with us from the foundation. So, yeah, well, I would thank you all for your time. If there's any questions.
So you got all your contact info there? I sent that presentation out to everybody.
Yeah, I didn't have a YouTube video link in it, but you know, that's okay. I'll be happy to come back. I think that inventors need something like this. I think they need, as we were talking about around the round table, they need community, they need support, they need someone to help them break out of their creative log jams and brainstorm things. And they need advice on what they should do, and they just need simple feedback, like, that's a great idea, you should get that to the market. You know, because I've seen a number of ideas that don't stir that kind of excitement, and I think people can sense that when you say, well, okay, that's going to be an uphill battle getting that thing to market. That's a little bit different from enthusiastic, go for it, you know. So, anything else?
No, you know, I was just talking too about a simple product selling on Craigslist, just simple products. And if I list something over a certain price, say 150 to 250, you know, because it's an antique piece, which one do you need for people that want to send me a cash picture? Or here's one that I don't quite get is they want me. They're talking to me on text, because I leave a number on text. You don't necessarily come through Craigslist, but you can text me because I have a text there, okay? Or you can call me, whatever. But the point being is they want me to say, okay, I can't talk to you unless I go through Google. And so they say, can you send me this code? Send you a code, then you send me code back. So what they do is, and I don't know how this works, but my understanding is that they take that code, plug it into with my number, and then sell their scam with my number. Does that make sense?
It sure does, yeah. That's the problem with digital communications. Once we digitized communications, we created the ability to inject anything into that digital stream and pluck some of those packets out and alter them, put them back in. I'm sure that's what deep fake movies, the YouTube videos are all about. Manipulation at the packet level. I don't know, I haven't researched that, but
yeah, well, I'm just saying that a lot of
yeah.
At this level, you have a lot of nonsense.
It's funny, they're not all.
Yeah. So yeah, Roger, I'd be happy to come back another time. The inventors, inventors are the group I want to solve their problems. And I also take great pride in mobilizing the creativity of the planet. We have a freebie bucket.
You know, there's been
where people can just throw ideas for free, you know. You're walking down the road or you stop